Hey everybody, welcome to episode 3 of the Super 80s Podcast Friend. We are a TV theme song explorer. We have one mission, and that is to analyze every single theme song from every single television show in the 1980s. All genres. Did I say it all? Did I get it all right?
So,
Yeah. I'm John.
Hi, John. I'm Ryan.
Hi, Ryan.
hey guys, I'm Peter.
Hi, Pete.
Hey, Pete.
We're here. It's episode 3. We're happy that you're joining us for another episode. If you missed our first 2 episodes, episode 1, The Golden Girls, episode 2,
The hell was it? Webster?
Growing Pains. Growing Pains was episode 2. You know, I thought we could start a new tradition, and that could be retractions. And I was thinking about the Growing Pains episode.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a moment when I mentioned that, who's Jason Seaver? What's his real name?
Kirk Cameron.
No, the other one.
Oh,
Alan Thicke.
Alan Thicke.
Oh, Alan.
There was a moment where I mentioned that Alan Thicke's son, whose name is
Robin.
Robin Thicke, had a song that I had on the tip of my tongue. Guys, I wasn't thinking of Alan Thicke or Robin Thicke for this particular song. So it was bugging me after we ended the episode. So after you guys left our studio here, I went on my phone and I was thinking of Tal Bachman.
What?
Who is the son of Randy Bachman from Bachman Turner Overdrive.
Oh, man.
And who did he play on Growing Pains?
He didn't, but here's the song I was thinking of. And so the whole time I thought it was by, what's his name again? Robin Thicke. I thought Robin Thicke sang this song.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking of the whole time.
I don't know who ought to be more insulted by that, Robin or Tal.
You guys remember that song? You know, here's you guys, what's the common theme between all those guys? Alan Thicke and Randy Bachman in particular. What's their connection?
Oh, they're all Canadian.
They're all Canadian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're all Canucks.
They're all Canucks. So that's my retraction from episode 2. I thought that the Thicke kid sang She's So High Above Me, but it was Tal Bachman. Taking care of it. Well, you know what I just did?
TCO.
I was taking care of business.
Yeah, you were. Yeah, you're letting it roll down the highway.
Let it roll. Do you guys have anything to report? It's week 3.
Well, I take nothing back from the first 2 episodes. That's the only thing I have to report. I take nothing back.
I like it.
I felt a little bit bad. I might have been harsh regarding Ben Seaver.
Okay. So we got 2 retractions.
I wouldn't say it was just a retraction. I'm just saying I felt a little bad.
You know, doing this podcast is a chance for us to talk about the 80s. We're not experts by any means, but we're big fans. And it also gives us an excuse to drink beer in my basement. And because we're looking for sponsors so that we can retire, we're always going to tell you what beer we're drinking and hope someday they'll hop on board and we won't have to work jobs anymore. I am drinking a Founders All Day IPA to start off episode 3. Ryan, what's in your gullet?
New Glarus Moonman.
Hey, New Glarus, that's 3 episodes in a row that you've been represented.
Well,
just saying.
If you like it.
Yep. Pete?
And I am drinking Fresh Coast from Three Sheeps.
All right, so we
Wonderful.
got 2 Wisconsin beers and 1 Michigan beer. We are 3 knuckleheads from the great state of Wisconsin. And here's how the show works. We start out with retractions, apparently, and then we see if there's anything else to report. After that, to the right of me, we have a robot that was rescued from a dumpster in the valley, contrary to what we heard on episode 1. That's really what happened. And the robot's name is Conky. He used to belong to Pee Wee Herman. He now belongs to us. As I did mention, he does stroll around our neighborhood serving chips and soda pops to the neighborhood kids and brings us beer and occasionally cleans our homes. But Conky also helps us figure out. So before we get to Conky, any other orders of business, fellas?
Well, the neighbor said to me they wanted to hire Conky to cut his grass, and Conky wasn't up for it.
He's old.
Conky wasn't up for it. He just rolled his metal eyelids at me. And
He's an old robot. He's been around the block. Yeah. All right, so there's an order. See, we catch up. We talk shop a little bit. Any other orders of business? So we're gonna fire up Conky, and he's gonna help us figure out what song from the '80s television archives we will be analyzing here in week 3. Conky.
Ready to assist you. Pee-wee.
Morning, Conky.
What's today's secret word?
Today's secret word is
Saved by the Bell.
Now we're talking. So we got a couple of things we do now that Conky's helped us out. One thing we do is one of us will hum or sing the song from memory. Then we'll talk about some of our memories with this great program. I loved Saved by the Bell. I was a big fan.
Agree. Yeah, it was an institution, Saturday morning institution.
After school as well. I remember coming home from school in
Sure.
high school. So does anybody want to hum the song or sing it?
It's not a very hummable song that I can remember.
Corner just in time to see the bus fly by.
Yeah.
It's
Maybe
a
it is
catchy
hummable.
little. What genre would we call the theme from Saved by the Bell?
50s stock music.
Like on the 90210 reruns when they didn't get
have the rights.
Yeah. Stock 50s stuff. Diner music.
Yeah.
Guy Fieri music. So stock 50s music. So yeah, talk to me about your guys' Saved by the Bell memories. Pete's cringing.
I was less of a fan. I'm sorry to say that, but I didn't mind it, but I was not as into it as apparently you guys were.
I started a fan club in high school.
That's pretty deep. That's pretty deep. I can't say that I did that, but it was an institution. Yeah, I mean, you had all the classic characters in it. You had the muscle man, you had the cool rebellious kid, you had the nerdy kid, you had the cheerleader, you had the nerdy girl, and how does Lisa Turtle fit into this? She's the fashionista?
She's the fashion. Yeah, she's the trendsetter.
Okay.
Yep. And you got comic relief with Rod Belding, principal of Bayside High School.
Absolutely.
What a funny guy.
Absolutely. Now,
Pete's, if I wish we got a video of this show sometime. Pete's just shaking his head at Ryan and I like we're a bunch of idiots. His cousin, or I mean his brother. What's Mr. Belding's brother?
the guy that was the cool, like
he was a cool guy.
Yeah. I don't remember what his name was.
But a great cast of characters, excellent storylines, and top-notch acting.
Absolutely.
As far as I'm concerned.
Absolutely.
Off the top of your head, you got a favorite Saved by the Bell character?
Well, it's hard not to, Zach is up there. Kelly Kapowski was probably my favorite.
Yeah, we all had a crush on Kelly.
Exactly.
Kapowski.
Hard not to. And then you have I always felt like you had your main characters, and then there was like the secondary characters that you really liked.
Now, I'm a big fan of nepotism, so I'm going to say Violet.
There you go.
What's her name?
Oh,
Yeah.
and that's Tori
Tori
Spelling.
Spelling.
A lot of 90210 connections here.
Yeah.
Or at least 2. Tiffany Amber Thiessen was Val Malone on 90210.
Val, yeah.
So, and then the song sounding like Peach Pit stock 50s music.
Right.
Yep.
My favorite, I always liked Zach. I thought he was funny.
Yeah.
He was all right. I liked his band, Zach Attack.
Oh, yeah.
We should review that song, Friends Forever.
It's a good
Remember
one.
that from Zach
Yeah.
Attack?
Casey Kasem did it. Now think like some of the initial like cultural pieces of Saved by the Bell, like the huge cell phone, right? Like before people had cell phones.
Yep.
The huge cell phone that Zach had. just his outfits.
He was a
right?
sharp dressed man.
He was a sharp dressed man.
AC Slater wore a lot of tank tops,
Well,
and Screech wore the tall pants and the colorful shirts.
yeah, sun's out, guns out for Mario Lopez, right?
And some great quotable lines over the years. One of my favorites is when Jesse Spano would say to AC Slater, "You're a pig," and he would say, "Oink oink, mama." It's a great line. That line gets thrown around this house once in a while. It goes over so-so.
Yeah, I could see that.
But I watched this show religiously after school in high school. So we're talking
It was that
early
good?
to mid-90s.
Yeah.
I was coming home and watching Saved by the Bell in syndication.
I was going to say that was past the time of new episodes.
Yeah, I feel like it was pre the college years. They maybe were. Do you remember there was, not to get too in the weeds here, but there was a season where Tiffany Amber Thiessen was gone, and we're gonna have to pull up some info. on the show.
There's a lot of
There's like a kind
different
of
trees in this branch,
Yeah.
right? Because you start with the pilot season, right, which they're in middle school,
yes, and it
like
was
the Good
called-
Morning Miss Bliss
yeah.
or something like that,
Yep,
right?
Yep.
Which is subpar to the NBC version.
Correct.
And then there was a whole season where they were doing summer work, right, at the resort.
Yeah, kind of like the 90210 thing.
And it was the lady from who then went on to have a show with the Paul Blart guy.
Mall Cop.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was that.
Yeah,
that was her.
yeah, that
Are
was
you
her.
Sure.
Yes.
No, it was.
100%.
Hey, let's get some background on Saved by
Leah
the Bell.
Remini.
Yeah, exactly. That's her.
She worked at the beach resort.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah, her father was the
Sorry.
owner. What was his name? Leon Carosi.
Nice, Stacy Carosi.
Stacy Carosi and Leon
I'll
Carosi.
be damned. Yeah, you guys are
Yeah.
smart. Hey, does anybody have some info pulled up on Saved by the Bell? How many seasons are we talking? Yada, yada, yada.
That's a really good question. Well, the series premiered on August 20th of 1989.
Okay.
Wow. That's a lot. And
Yeah.
that was so that was Saved by the Bell, which was a spin-off of The Good Morning Miss Bliss,
Okay.
which was on the Disney Channel.
Because that was a different cast of characters, right? That didn't have AC Slater, I don't think.
Correct.
Yeah. And then how many seasons did we have? Were we blessed
Four
of Saved by the Bell?
seasons.
No shit.
That's it.
Yep, 4 seasons.
Huh.
Yep.
Would have guessed more.
I would have
Yeah.
guessed more. And then the college years is going to be counted as something else, right?
Correct. And then so 89 to 93, to May of 93.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
So I was probably watching it both in syndication and when it was new episodes.
Yep. So apparently there was a Saved by the Bell new class. Don't remember that.
I remember hearing about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
There was also the Saved by the Bell wedding in Las Vegas. Remember when
Oh,
Zach and Kelly got married? There was
There-
like
The Hawaiian episode
Yeah.
too. Those are great.
Hawaiian style. Yeah, exactly. If the show was on right now, would you sit down and watch it?
Like if I was sitting on the couch.
Correct.
Heck yeah.
100%?
100%. Pete,
Probably not.
would you watch a few minutes or would you just turn it off?
Maybe.
Pete's a maybe for a couple minutes. How about you?
What do you think your kids would say? Would they enjoy that?
They're 11. They probably would.
My kids are too young. I think their attention span would be very short, and it would look dated to them.
My kids watch Elvis movies, so I think they'd be in.
Oh yeah.
They request Elvis movies.
Well, who doesn't? You know.
So yeah, I'd watch an episode. I think I'd probably be like, oh, come on. Like I'd probably do a lot of that. Like I can't believe I watched
Mhm.
this. Because when I was watching it in high school, I knew it was bad, but I liked it.
Right. That was the beauty of it.
I didn't think it was great,
Yeah.
but I was in.
It was good cheese.
It was good cheese.
Yeah.
It was. Unless there's any other background, I say we dive in. So if you are new to the show, we listen to it audio only. We will pause it frequently to make comments on the music, the lyrics, etc. And then on our second listen, we do it a little quicker. We'll just watch the opening credits, and then we'll give it a grade. We'll talk more about that when we get to it. So without further ado, Let's hear that school bell. It's time for Saved by the Bell. Maybe.
When I wake up in the morning and the alarm gets out of warning, I don't think.
So I've heard that song, I don't know, thousands of times. When I wake up in the morning, what the hell is he saying after that?
That's great. Is it something about a lawn?
Lawn? When I wake up in the morning and my log? Is he talking about his log? Mate, do we have the lyrics pulled up? We Engineer Pete's just looking at us like, no, it's a terrible song. I'm not going to look up the lyrics. When I wake up in the morning and my log is
My
something.
alarm clock is warning.
Really?
I don't know.
That's probably.
But it makes more sense than log. I'm just going to throw that out there.
It probably wouldn't have been appropriate to talk about your log for a Saturday morning.
When
Sure.
I wake up in the morning and the alarm gives out a warning.
No shit.
Yeah.
That's why.
All right. I'm 30 plus years into that song.
Yep.
The alarm
Yep.
gives off.
Gives out a warning.
I don't think I'll ever make it on time.
Darn right.
So we can all, if we want to paint a picture here,
Oh, yeah.
kid's waking up
Mm-hmm.
and he's probably pressed the snooze button. I'm picturing a wood grain plastic alarm clock with the red digital letters.
Right. That was standard issue in the 80s.
A clock radio. If you're younger, Google clock radio. Is that what you call them? Clock radio?
Sure.
That's
Sure.
accurate.
Yeah.
But you had three choices on a clock radio. You could have the alarm, you could have the radio,
Right.
or you could have the horrible blend.
Oh, God.
So
the
you could
blend.
have like AM crackly radio with it going.
Yeah. And sometimes the radio wasn't enough to motivate you to get up,
Certainly not. You just
especially if you had Am Jam on. That
Yeah, you
wasn't
got-
going to do it. The weather wasn't going to get you out of the bed.
no summer breeze isn't going to get you out of bed.
Correct. Peaches and Herb.
So kid's up, yeah, but he thinks he's going to be late.
Yep.
All right.
Think I'll ever make it on time. By the time I grab my books.
I didn't mean to pause. I was counting what he was going to do here. So he's got books.
And I give myself a look. I'm at the corner just in time to see the bus fly by.
Pause. All right. Show of hands. Actually, it's podcasting. That's really dumb. How many of you took a bus to school at some point in your K through 12 education?
I did.
I did.
Did not.
I took the city bus.
Awesome.
So not a school bus. I took a city bus from 6th through 12th grades.
Outstanding.
So 6 years of taking a city bus, and it was almost like in a movie. Like the tough kids sat in the back. There would be fights. People would pick their nose. There'd be nerdy kids. It's good podcasting too. Like all of that type of stuff.
do you still have your bus pass?
I'm a pack rat.
Correct. That's why. That's why I'm asking.
So I probably do have a bus pass from when I was in high school. But
And
yeah,
Did it have your picture on it? No.
no, it was you could either pay with cash,
Right.
you could buy bus tokens,
Yeah.
which would save you like 10%, or you could get a monthly pass.
Okay.
And by the time I was riding, I was getting a monthly pass, and
Sure.
you just signed your name on in cursive.
Of course. It would be great to have a shirt where you have like your first driver's license, your bus pass, like your old library card, like those old things. And it would just be like this is me 30 years ago.
Would it be like silk screened on, or would it be like, or would I be taping these things to the shirt?
Well, even better, tape them on.
Engineer Pete,
I rode the school bus.
yellow bus.
Yes.
How many years?
Good question. I'm going to say about 4 or 5. I don't really. It wasn't consistent.
Okay.
Some days we got rides. Some days we rode the bus.
The reason I ask is he's at the corner just in time to see the bus fly by, and that happened to me many times. I missed the bus many times. Did that happen with your bus or not really?
Not really.
Because I was a teenager, and you'd hit the snooze button, and sometimes you'd miss the bus, and it'd be another 15 minutes to a half hour before the bus came.
And the city bus isn't waiting for you. Now the yellow bus might wait because they know
Yeah.
little Pete
Now
should be coming.
I was enough of a regular that like he might do a 20-seconder.
Sure.
Joe the bus driver, Joe L.
Okay.
No, he's not waiting 2 minutes, but
Right.
he's going to be like, all right, did he oversleep?
Mm-hmm.
That type of thing.
It's going to give you a little courtesy.
He's going to give me a little bit of courtesy. Yeah.
Did you ever sprint to the waiting bus?
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Many times, especially by the time you get into high school when you're really abusing the snooze button.
Right.
Right. You're like, I remember laying in bed and my mom being like, get up. And I'd like take my feet and make it sound like I was getting out of bed and just fall back asleep.
Active resistance.
It's impressive.
So yeah. Lyrically, and there's not many more lyrics left in this song, are there?
I don't think so. He doesn't have a long story to tell, but it's an important one.
It's not like the other songs we're listening to. He's like, wake up in the morning.
Alarms
Alarm
out of warning. Gives out a warning.
Not going to make it on time. Time I
Grab my books.
get myself a look. There's Joe driving
Mhm.
by in the bus. All right, let's hear it.
It's alright,
Well, could you back it up a little bit? Oh, actually, maybe not. There's a really cool bass line I wanted to point out. Boo-doo, boo-doo-doo. It's coming up, I think. Keep going. Sorry. We got a guitar song.
If the teacher pops a test, I know I'm in a mess and my dog ate all my homework.
There it is, right? So you finally get to school, and if the teacher's popping a test, you know you're in a mess, right? You know you're in trouble. And, of course, the dog ate all his damn homework.
So these are some really pandering, shitty
Oh,
lyrics.
absolutely.
I'm glad we can acknowledge that at this point.
Like, they're bad.
But it's fits exactly in with the show.
For sure.
Like, the show leaned into all of these same... I'm pretty sure there's an episode where the dog eats the homework.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past Saved by the Bell.
Isn't there an Elvis episode? The one where Hound Dog, where the Elvis statue gets broken, right?
Yeah, at Screech's house during a sleepover.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. So the teacher pops a test. He knows he's in a mess,
Yes.
and the dog ate all the homework last night.
Mm-hmm.
This is another lyric I might not know coming up.
Last night, riding low on my chair, she won't know that I'm there. If I can
Whoa.
have it in some
So I heard riding low on my chail. She won't know where to nail.
That's
Chail? Nail?
nailed it.
Nailed it.
What do we got?
I think he's sitting low in his chair, like he's trying to hide from his teacher. I don't know how that's going to help him, his situation, but
Mm-hmm.
You got these, Ryan?
It's riding low in my chair. She won't know that I'm there.
Riding low in my chair. She won't know that I'm there. All right, so he's just trying to
He's trying to blend in.
blend in, not turn it in.
Yeah.
Okay.
tomorrow, it'll be alright.
There's that bass.
It's alright, 'cause I'm saved by the bell.
We're about to go into a ripping guitar solo
Yeah.
here, and I must admit it's a catchy song.
Absolutely.
It gets stuck in your head.
Absolutely.
It's not lyrically; it leaves some stuff to be desired, but it's a catchy little tune.
He's telling the every man's tale.
This is the tale. He's like Woody Guthrie, just telling the tale of the everyday man.
That's right.
Bruce Springsteen.
That's right.
Woody Guthrie.
Exactly.
And who the hell wrote this song?
Good question. I have no idea.
That's okay. Let's see what this. There's some studio rat. He goes into. He's a session musician. He shows up in 1988. Like, hey, we need you to shred a solo on this tune. He's like, what are we working on today? Like a pilot for a show called Saved by the Bell, and he's immortalized on what we're about to hear. Solid solo.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The drums are kicking there. There's a lot to like there.
Pete's face is so great. There is a lot to like.
There's a lot to like.
It's a quality guitar solo.
I felt right now listening to it the way that I felt when I was listening to it when I was a kid, which is that I'm pumped up. I get that guitar solo, and I'm ready to watch some Saved by the Bell. I'm feeling good.
I'm pumped up myself.
Yeah.
All right, let's.
Pete's going for a bathroom break. He's
'Cause I'm saved by love. It's alright, 'cause I'm saved by love. It's alright, 'cause I'm saved by the bell.
a big suck. Whoa.
now two really good things there at the very end of that song.
Sorry about that little noise there. We don't edit here on the Super 80s podcast, friends, so that will blow out your ears and your AirPods as you're going for a jog.
And we don't pay for ad-free.
No. Sorry, Ryan. What were you going to say?
Two really good things at the end of that song. The piano slide.
Yep.
And there's a whip at the end.
There is a whip at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know the symbol that he's using. That's
Mhm.
cool. Yeah, they triple it up. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. The triple, the tag
Yeah.
there at the end, it works. It's a quality little tune. Any other comments about that before we do a much shorter analysis looking at the screen? Because we know most of you won't be able to look along with us, so we like to keep this next part a little shorter. But it is fun to comment for you, kind listeners, on what is happening on the screen, and maybe as we talk about it, it'll bring back some memories. So any other comments before we watch?
No, I'm excited. I want to see
I
it.
am too. And I wonder what season it's going to be and what actors will or will not be in.
Yeah, good question.
All right, Engineer Pete, you got a reveal for us?
Yes.
We're super high tech here in our studio.
When I wake up in the morning and the
Let's
light
pause
is
it right off the
on.
bat. It couldn't be more stereotypically 80s. If you recall, there's the flashing colors, the
Correct.
squiggly lines, there's a flamingo and a lollipop.
Yeah.
Bunch of weird shit floating around the screen.
Very much late 80s. The bright colors.
Yes.
I love it.
Cool.
I don't think I'll ever make it on time. By
There's
the
that
time I grab my book,
iconic Saved by the Bell logo.
Yep.
3 different fonts, which
Yeah.
which I really love. But it really is screaming late 80s.
Absolutely. And I love how things are kind of moving in and out of the screen. It's almost like someone has them on a popsicle stick and they're just moving them in and out.
Totally.
and I give myself a look.
Skateboard, sunglasses,
Yeah. Convertible.
a fish. All right.
I'm safe.
So our leadoff man is
Yeah.
Mark Paul Gosselaar.
Gosler.
Gosselaar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there he is. Great
Yeah.
head of hair.
Oh, wonderful. I mean, every kid dreams of having a head of hair like that.
Absolutely. All right.
And this is later, so we've got the early pick and then the later pick. Yeah.
I love when you do. That's used very often,
Yep.
and I like it. What
Oh, it's a heck of a sweater.
Hell yeah.
Wow.
Oh,
Mullet.
a curly mullet on Mario Lopez.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, Preppy.
Oh, good. It's another good line. Classic one.
We got to get that for a drop.
I know I'm
Ooh, lifting weights.
talking
Yeah.
on my homework last night.
Dustin.
Low on my chair, she won't know that I'm there.
Dustin Diamond.
There you go.
It'll be alright.
See, Tiffany Amber Thiessen, I never actually cared that she had 2 first names.
No, I think it works just fine for her.
Mhm.
So Dustin Diamond, obviously playing the clown always.
Right.
They show him in a Michael Jackson outfit. They show him dressed up in a Hawaiian bikini.
Right.
Right. So playing the clown.
Yep.
And then Tiffany Amber Thiessen, playing the high school knockout.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
It's alright, 'cause I'm saved by the bell.
Elizabeth Berkley, huh?
Who would go on to perform in Showgirls.
Is that the name of the movie?
That was the name of the movie.
Okay.
All right. Do you remember the episode when she took the diet pills?
Caffeine?
Saying, "I'm so excited."
Caffeine pills? Diet pills?
Yeah, something to help her study. And she did
Oh,
not.
sorry, not diet. That was 90210.
And she
Yeah.
was singing, "I'm so excited." And she's like,
Oh.
"I'm so excited. I'm so
So scared. Jesse, what are you doing with those pills?
Yeah. Real issues.
She's got to sing.
Yes.
She's got to sing.
Lark Blues. She was fun. There he is.
Dennis Haskins. Great guy.
Rod
If I
Belding.
saw him on the street, I'd shake his hand.
Me too. Just
Absolutely.
he's a genius of his time.
Oh, absolutely.
Great actor.
100%. But he was the glue that kept it all together.
Hey, name the restaurant on Saved by the Bell that they all
The Max.
The Max, yep.
Yeah.
Nice place. All right. So, yeah, there's Dennis Haskins. Let's see how they close it up for us. Dressed as Run DMC. So, yeah, just some montage stuff here.
Flying burgers.
Surfboard, soccer ball, guitar, bright colors. There's that whip.
Yeah.
Well, that was great. That was fun to watch. That brings back a lot of memories. Classic opening sequence, done well. 1 minute in the pocket. So now's the part of the show where we give the song its grade. It will either be given an I'll be back, which means it gets a thumbs up, or a You're in Big Trouble, Mister, which means it gets a thumbs down. At some point, we're going to compile all these into 2 separate playlists. One will be all the songs we loved, and one will be all the songs we didn't love. Majority rules, so 2 thumbs up gets it on the good playlist. 2 thumbs down puts it on the naughty list. As always, we will start with Ryan. What is your ranking for Saved by the Bell theme song?
It's an easy Arnold for me.
I'll be back.
Engineer Pete?
I also
I'll be back.
agree.
Right.
Wow, I'm
Pete was
surprised.
yeah, you were holding your cards close to your
Yeah.
chest.
I have nothing against the song. The piano's a little cheesy, but like you said, it's on brand for the show. So
Excellent. No surprise here. I am also giving it an I'll be back.
I'll be back.
All right. Well, that was Saved by the Bell. Any other tidbits, memories, things you remember from the show, anything like that that comes to mind before we get to our end of the show questions?
Yeah, just a good friend. Just like a good friend that you're happy to see.
I spent many years with it. I liked the college years when it was on as well. I think that was probably only 1 season.
Yeah.
It didn't last long.
So the college year.
Saved by the Bell, the college year. Yeah. And they all went to the same school. 90210 did that too. Sometimes,
Right.
or at least most of them all went back. And they brought in a few new characters, I think, to give it some new life. I don't know if that worked out. I'm trying to think of Mr. Belding's brother's name. It's bugging me. Anyway, so we end our show. We aim for between the 30 and 40 minutes mark, and we're right at 32 minutes, so we're on brand with some questions. And it could be a fictional question like, would you like to, how, what would, that type of thing. Or it could be a legit, like, I want to know more about. Ryan, do you have a question to lead us off?
So, would you, do you guys remember the episode where, and I don't remember exactly what, but it was wrestling, where AC Slater came in and saved, was it Screech who was going to wrestle? Somebody from Valley, right? Was there Valley?
Bayside and Valley. That was
Right.
the rival was Valley.
So that's where I was going with this. Would you, could you last for 1 minute in the ring with AC Slater?
Well, I've never wrestled in my life, so I'm going to go with a no.
You're saying like before I would be pinned?
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I could not.
No. You'd have to run around, right? You'd have to run around.
Maybe I could outrun him. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's a very fair question. My question is, if you had to go on vacation with one of the characters, not one of the actors, but one of the characters, and let's say you're heading on a road trip to Mount Rushmore. So Wisconsin to Mount Rushmore and back, driving in a car, staying in some hotels, coming back. Which character are you road tripping with? And we'll assume that you're all, you're all this, you're the same age as the characters. Not like you're the weird 40-something with Screech. So if you could go on vacation with one character from Saved by the Bell, assuming we could make them real, who would it be and why?
Well, my gut tells me I'd want to go with Zach, but I don't think, I think in reality, I think it would be AC, because I don't think I could hang out in a car that long with Zach. There'd be too many antics going on.
He's an antics guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if I'm going to be road tripping,
You need a rock.
I need somebody who's solid. Yeah.
All right. Pete, who are you going on a road trip with?
Tiffany Amber Thiessen.
Yeah.
She
Hey.
seems
Smart.
least annoying.
Yeah. That's a great choice.
My-
That's a great.
I don't recall her like Screech and Zach and AC. I think
They're
they
all-
just talk too much, and I'd be like, I don't want to.
So you and Kelly Kapowski in like a 78 Pinto driving to Rushmore. I love it. My initial thought was Mr. Belding,
Oh.
but he's kind of like an adult Zach.
Unintentionally, though.
Yeah, he's kind of annoying. So I'm going with Kelly Kapowski as well.
Okay.
She's normal. She's chill. She's cute. You know, she's Kelly Kapowski.
Yeah, everybody would look at you everywhere you go and be like, how the hell did that guy get a lady like that?
Yeah. So that's who I'm going with.
Now, you guys have watched more of the episodes than I have. Were there any episodes where there was an actual rebel, like a rocker or a leather jacket skateboarder,
Absolutely.
tough type kid?
Yes, and I haven't seen this show realistically in probably 20 years.
Okay.
Not even one episode, but for sure. And I feel like there were episodes where they were hanging out at the max. But yeah, there were definitely ruffians who kind of got in the inner circle a little bit.
Would those be characters that started off as antagonists but then were redeemed?
Most
by some...
likely.
Okay.
Within the 22-minute episode.
Yeah.
No cliffhangers really on say, but they maybe had a few to be continued episodes, but it was you didn't need to see one to see the other.
Right.
For the most part.
Right.
Like a lot of good sitcoms.
Exactly. Not leaving you hanging.
No. All right. Well, guys, that wraps up episode 3 of the Super 80s podcast Friend. We'll be back next week with another episode where we will pick apart a gem from the 80s. Until then, thank you, Pete. Thank you, Ryan.
Thank you, amigos.
Thank you.
All right. Talk to you guys next week.